Trump needs to believe in the old adage, intervals change matches. We've seen it time and time again. His game wasn't in a good state pre-interval. But no one is projecting an Allen victory just yet. That said, though, Mark Allen has got a tremendous temperament. He won't be intimidated if Trump starts to fire. Well, the red adjacent to a pocket is covered. And it's that kind of nudge, that kind of fortune that Trump will need to get back into this. There you see. Just a matter of a revolution of the cue ball made the difference there.
One.
The most important thing there was to pot the red. He knew he was never going to get a colour, because the check side from the swerve was going to kill any pace that the cue ball had on it.
Mark Allen, 1.
If Trump can get on a roll, the complexion of the match could change very quickly. This deficit could be erased, of course it could. But he needs a radical improvement on what occurred before the interval.
Yeah, we all know how good he is at stringing bunches of frames together with breaks in frames in one visit. Highest break 35. I know he hasn't won a frame, so you're not entitled to make a very big break, but it's very, very unusual for the world number one.
Well, I don't think that was his fault. The sound of the cue ball against the red suggested a kick, and it did straighten.
One.
And straight away, this black isn't easy, especially if he's going to play it in with a bit of pace, which he is, aiming low in the cue ball. Not convincing, but it's in.
Eight. 9.
We've mentioned a lot of times how good this playing surface is and how fast and slick. But when you're struggling, it's so difficult. It's fine when you're playing well, as we seen last night. But if you're struggling, it's so difficult to buy a positional shot. However, he's played a beauty there.
13. Fourteen.
So far, at least, what a difference a match makes. That record equaling 5 centuries in the
Blue ball.
previous round. Here,
So
scoring
trump. 14.
very surprisingly restricted.
One.
Whereas it's patently obvious, Stephen, that now Mark Allen really fancies the job.
Yep. Of the two players, he's the one that looks bang on it tonight. He's not been in the sort of scoring form he was against Sullivan. But his attitude has been top notch. He looks like he wants it more. Simple as that.
8. Nine.
I've got a theory that the remnants of his annoyance at what happened in the O'Sullivan match might still be there. He might still be fired up, and he might remain so until the end of the tournament.
I just think he wants to prove himself against the
16.
best players. He knows,
70.
although a great victory against the world champion, it was only one match. Up next, the world number 1, and if he wins tonight, the defending champion. It doesn't get much tougher as a draw, and I think that's what he's up for.
There's also no intimidation
24.
factor for Mark Allen against Judd Trump, because as we've asserted, he leads 9-8 in career meetings.
25.
And not just that. In matches between these two, he's had 15 centuries, Trump's only had 12. And now in total frames, Allen leads 77-68. It's a really good record against a man who's dominating the world rankings.
When Mark Selby beat
32.
Karen Wilson from 4-0 down the other night, the best of 11 as well. He got a lot of help from his opponent. I'll be very surprised if Judd Trump gets the same help from
33.
this man at the table.
And that's the great benefit of a table
40.
like this, a surface like this, where you can get maximum movement from minimal angle. Very good.
$41.
Another good positional shot required. The two reds to the right, the pink, they don't pot to right corner, so he needs to play for the one in the black spot here. Well, he brought the cue ball down a path. He needs a bit of luck here. Oh, does the red next to the pink go?
Yeah.
They've lost the black ball.
Oh, it's under the table, Mark. Can you use your cue, please? Sorry. Thank you. 48.
Let's have a look at the plant. Obviously red touching the pink doesn't go. This is risky. Not easy. You can see they're well away from being lined up to the middle of the pocket. Good shot and
49.
played with an element of safety. Well, that's a wonderful shot. And from that, didn't look to have much angle, but to
52.
actually overrun the position was incredible, really. Again, alluding to the speed of the table. Well, but unlucky, really.
$53.
But he just keeps pulling out these pots, these pressure pots. It's not been a positionally perfect break by any means, but what a battling one. And now this is a very simple frame ball.
58. $59. Did you have
Oh,
it
it lost
again?
the black again.
Yes, it did. Thank you. We'll have a look at this pocket after that.
Yes, Tatiana saying we'll have a look at the pocket a little
66.
bit afterwards. I think the table fitter might be called in during the break.
Mark Allen, 66, and a frame.
Well, the pocket can be fixed. Maybe not Judd Trump's title hopes. And the reason for that, Mark Allen, would you believe this scoreline? He leads the world number one, 5-0.
Yeah, you fixed it already. Yeah. Just the net came off.
I can report that
Thank
the
you.
pocket,
Frame 6.
the rogue
Mark
pocket
Allen
has
to
been
break.
fixed. And now it's just a matter of seeing whether Judd Trump is going to be whitewashed. Never thought I'd be saying that this evening.
Yeah, bad day to be a Trump. As he go all-out attack. Judging by that shot, yes, because there was never a path for the cue ball to get back up to baulk from that red. I think he's gone far enough. He's on the red, I think.
8.
That would have summed up Judd's night so far. He'd snookered himself on this red.
Nine.
You won't be surprised to know that Trump has never been whitewashed by Allen in the past, although Allen did beat him 6-1 in the quarterfinals of last year's Shanghai Masters.
Fourteen. Judd Trump. 14.
I wonder if Judd was tempted by the red to left middle. I don't know if that red, you see the one that's closest to the middle pocket, makes the pocket a bit bigger. I don't know if the red can go in off. It looks perhaps a little bit far away from the pocket to play one off the other. So we could have a bit of a stalemate here because obviously no one wants to play a safety shot up to the baulk end. Re-rack could be very much on the cards here.
Could have had a re-rack in the second frame, of course. But Tatiana Wollaston, the referee, stepped in. I thought she made a really good decision there. The overwhelming majority of re-racks these days occur when the two players mutually agree to start all over again. Referee intervention is rare, but sometimes required.
Pretty good shot that, Judd Trump. When you're playing these safety shots in this situation, the idea is to get that cue ball as tight to the black cushion as possible to stop your opponent playing the same shot again. Stop your opponent getting to the bottom of the cue ball. Not on for Mark Allen here. And I could be tempted by possibly the cross double, the red that's near the left middle pocket. Try and get the cue ball in and out of balk. I think you can miss the red that's closest to the black near the left cushion. You might not have any alternative. And he's just going to roll up to dead weight, I think. Leave the cue ball on the cushion. He's going to leave a pot on, he knew that. And it's not going to be an easy one. And obviously at 5-0 down, that just amplifies how difficult it is. So Trump's next mistake could be his last. Taking the plant.
One.
And about sums up his day.
And throughout the course of snooker history, it's occurred where the men of the moment just can't do anything right. Without wishing to
Jet Trump.
reopen
One.
old wounds, Stephen, everyone recalls that famous UK Championship match when you played Marcus Campbell. You were the dominant force in the game, and for whatever reason, perhaps inexplainable, Campbell beat you 9-0.
Cheers, Phil. Sure, everyone at home needed to hear that information.
Yeah, thank you.
But you're absolutely right. Form, you can't just switch good form on like a tap. I said that at the analysis, the interval. When you start matches off badly, it's so difficult just to switch it on.
Of course, if he does lose 6-0, it's not the indication of a crisis, because after that Campbell defeat, I think the next week you went and won a tournament in Malta, so it's just a matter of dusting yourself down and getting on with it. But it would be a pride-hurting result, let's put it that way.
One.
Beautiful pot. Is the cue ball going to stay for the brown? Yeah, it's just stopped in time, I think, for there to be a pot on. It's not easy. You might be tempted to roll it behind the green, but I think you're going to take the opportunity to win the match. It's quite amazing, really, because if this shot was down the black end of the table and if it was red, there'd be no problem potting this, but because it's in the bulk area, for some reason it makes it more tricky. But you think if you can pot the brown, good positional shot, this could be the beginning of the end. No, overcut it by a long way.
Mark Allen. One.
I think he wanted to play the roll up behind the green, but convinced himself Brown was the right shot and wasn't 100% committed. Massive deceleration.
One.
Which is very unusual for Mark Allen because he's got that short, aggressive cue action.
So can Trump
Eight.
finally show his true colours?
9. $15. 16.
You're Judd Trump seeing that brown that Mark Allen, you have to be honest, twitched.
23.
You've got to try and use that and think, well, maybe this guy might have a problem getting over the winning line.
24.
Long way to go, but you've got to try and just grasp any bit of hope.
$31. 32. 37.
'Only a modest 38 so far, but
38.
already his highest break of the contest.
$44. 45. 52.
The whitewash is going to be averted.
53. 59. 60.
'Well, at least now he's got the incentive of trying to pad his century break total for the season.
66. 67. 73. 74.
'Didn't see that positional shot for the pink.
$80. Fall. Mark Allen 4. Judd Trump.
No century.
80.
The break ends at 80. But at least Trump, albeit belatedly, has a frame on the board. It's a mountainous task. He trails 5-1. Judd Trump knows that being close to the winning line is no guarantee of success. He
Frame
knows
7.
that
Judd Trump to
when
break.
he was in the opposite role in the final of the UK Championship in 2011 against Mark Allen. Trump led 8-3, was steaming towards the title. In the end, he was very relieved to win 10-8. Allen producing the kind of stirring fight back that Trump now requires.
Not a good cue ball. Was forced into playing off the main bunch there.
Trump's pot success rate well below par, 84%. That will not get the job done against many fellow professionals, let alone someone who's a fellow member of the elite, which Mark Allen is. It's definitely fair to say that before the interval, the majority of the run of the ball was going Mark Allen's way. It's amazing how quickly it can change.
1.
It's horrified to see that red come all the way back up and go up over the yellow pocket. If Judd can somehow find a break here, win this frame at this visit, it's just going to plant little seeds of doubt in his opponent's mind. No way some of Mark's experience is pressing the panic button, but there's always that little nagging doubt at the back of your mind when your opponent starts coming back at you, especially if he starts winning frames in one visit.
Eight. Nine. Sixteen.
Now that's definitely a frustrated
Good
at being
trump.
5-1
16.
down, things not going well shot.
The Stardust just isn't there tonight. Every aspect of his game below par. Safety, yes. Potting, yes. Positional play. That also applies.
Another little example. Kindly run of the ball for Judd Trump. Mark Allen had played a careless safety shot beforehand.
Foul. Miss.
Just making unforced
Trump,
errors that he
4.
wasn't making before the interval.
Thank you.
You know the old cliche, the last frame is always the hardest to win. It isn't always, but it is often.
One.
And if Trump can build some kind of head of steam, beware.
Yeah, it was another very attacking shot.
Blue
No
ball.
path back to balk at all. That was just full-blooded at the pot. But
Judd Trump. 1.
that was a long way off. Those are the ones that will find you out. Those mid-distance straight pots.
One.
Allen's mindset now, no messing about. Slam the door.
Yeah, as I said, there's no panic. He's 5-1 ahead. First to 6 needs
8.
one frame, but you don't want to keep passing up opportunities. So get this over and done with as soon as possible.
Nine. $15. $16.
Last season he was a nearly man. Runner-up in the Tour Championship. Beaten in a slew of ranking event semi-finals.
23.
He didn't qualify for this
24.
Champion of Champions by the normal route, i.e. lifting a trophy. He's here off the rankings. Talk about making the most of an unexpected opportunity.
Didn't want to play
31.
this red from such distance. Okay, you don't expect him to pod it. It's a much trickier shot than it looks on that view,
32.
but solid enough pot. When you're looking for that winning frame to win a match or tournament, whenever there's balls near the cushion, you always want to be as close to them as possible.
$39.
Got to go out for yellow or green this time. In fact, he was able to hold
40.
it. The two reds to the right, extreme right of the pink spot. We know that the top one definitely goes to the left corner.
46. $47.
That last shot, although it looked a bit of a nothing shot, red to pink was excellent. Because you see
53.
he was absolutely perfect on the pink to play for these reds, and you can see that actually both of them go.
54.
Allen edging ever closer to what would be his 24th professional tournament final, and a repeat of the final of the 2015 Champion of Champions. He was beaten by Neil Robertson.
$60.
So red, colour red, to leave but world number one needing a snooker. And the next red is not straightforward.
61.
Yeah, he just hasn't
67.
turned up tonight for whatever reason. Strange. Although Mark Allen has missed
67.
match ball. It was always high.
One.
That's brilliant.
If he is going to lose, at least he's got the consolation of playing the best shot of the night. And he's pulled off so many miraculous clearances in the past.
8.
I'm not dismissing his chances on this one.
Nine.
Wriggled in. but it is in. That's the most important thing. So brown now is the obstacle. He was looking at an angle, possibly going from black, if he pots the black off the next red in the same pocket, to actually play a cannon on the brown. That would leave him on the yellow to the green pocket.
16. $17.
Yeah, so that's what he'll be playing. And actually, if he misses the cannon on the brown, he's probably still going to be on the yellow. He'll probably come off 2 cushions and still be on the yellow. So this is definitely worth the risk.
$24.
No pot on, but a chance to lay an excellent snooker behind either brown or blue. Send the yellow up this end of the table. He's very much back in this frame.
Judd Trump, 24.
And now Mark Allen knows he's almost a certainty to be bang in trouble after this.
Now all Mark Allen is thinking is, why couldn't I have just potted that red in the middle? I've been doing my post-match interviews by now. Here it is, match ball. Was never in.
Foul. No miss.
No, doesn't want to leave a free ball behind the pink.
Judd Trump, 6. Free ball.
He has actually, but it's no good to him. No good to Judd. I think the cue ball and pink ball are too close together.
Back. Yeah.
Had the right to allow Allen to play from where the cue ball came to rest. Quite correctly putting the white back behind the black, because this is a more troublesome snooker.
Rob, can we check it?
Can hit the same spot as I just hit there.
Maybe it was a bit further away.
Yeah, that's better there.
Yeah, Judd, thank you. Foul. No miss. Judd Trump, 4.
Allen rooted to the spot. He knows he'll have to play it again.
Yeah, Judd, thank you.
I think the path takes a cue ball in between pink and black, so just judge the pace for this. In fact, I think the only reason he hit the black is because he didn't pot the yellow clean, but it's not the worst kiss in the world. Still got a pot on in the green. How close can he get to the brown? Didn't get the arc. He thought the top spin was going to take the cue ball, arc the cue ball to the left side of the table. Didn't grab.
9.
Stephen, he deserved more. That was such a bold attempt. He's 3 behind Trump. He might as well be level because they both need blue and pink.
Going back to the green, it was just an unbelievable attempt. Not another player in the game would have attempted that green the way he played it. And the brown was, as you say, Phil, a fabulous long pot.
Trump, 9.
Will Mark Allen risk sending the blue back up the table, trying to get the cue ball behind pink and black? Don't think so. He might just be pushing the blue to the left side cushion. Needs that blue to pull up. And has just in time.
Trump not giving up the ghost. He struggled tonight, but the attitude is good.
Again, a very high tariff pot. And more proof that if he's going to get beat, he's going to get beat on the attack. The world number 1. This isn't easy though.
Five.
He's missed 1 match ball already. What about this?
11. Frame in a match.
No
Mark
mistake.
Allen will play.
Mark Allen wins the frame on the pink, and he wins the match by 6 frames to 1.